I have to believe that, Percy. Every researcher does. It's the only thing that keeps us from despair when we look at what humans have done to the world. I have to believe that Pan can still be awakened. I stared at the orange haze of the sky and tried to understand how Grover could pursue a dream that seemed so hopeless. Then again, was I any better? How are we going to get to the underworld? I asked him. I mean, what chance do we have against a god? I don't know, he admitted. But back at Medusa's, when you were searching her office, Annabeth was telling me... Oh, I forgot. Annabeth will have a plan all figured out. Don't be so hard on her, Percy. She's had a tough life, but she's a good person. After all, she forgave me. His voice faltered. What do you mean? I asked. Forgave you for what? Suddenly, Grover seemed very interested in playing notes on his pipes. Wait a minute, I said. Your first keeper job was 5 years ago. Annabeth has been at the camp 5 years. She wasn't... I mean, your first assignment that went wrong? I can't talk about it, Grover said, and his quivering lower lip suggested he'd start crying if I pressed him. But as I was saying, back at Medusa's, Annabeth and I agreed that there's something strange going on with this quest. Something that isn't what it seems. Well, duh, I'm getting blamed for stealing a thunderbolt that Hades took. That's not what I mean, Grover said. The kindly ones were sort of holding back. Like Miss Dodds at Yancey Academy. Why did she wait so long to try and kill you? Then on the bus, they just weren't as aggressive as they could have been. They seemed pretty aggressive to me. Grover shook his head. They were screeching at us. Where is it? Where? Asking about me, I said. Maybe. But Annabeth and I, we both got the feeling that they weren't asking you about a person. They said, where is it? Like they seemed to be asking about an object. That doesn't make sense. I know. But if we've misunderstood something about this quest, and we only have 9 days to find the Master Bolt... He looked at me like he was hoping for answers, but I didn't have any. I thought about what Medusa had said. I was being used by the gods. What lay ahead of me was worse than petrification. I haven't been straight with you, I told Grover. I don't care about the Master Bolt. I need to go to the underworld so I can bring back my mother. Grover blew a soft note on his pipes. I know that, Percy. But are you sure that's the only reason? I'm not doing it to help my father. He doesn't care about me. I don't care about him. Grover gazed down at it from his tree branch. Look, Percy, I'm not as smart as Annabeth. I'm not as brave as you. But I'm pretty good at reading emotions. You're glad your dad is alive. You feel good that he's claimed you, and part of you wants to make him proud. That's why you mailed Medusa's head to Olympus. You wanted him to notice what you'd done. Yeah, well, maybe satire emotions work differently than human emotions. 'Cause you're wrong. I don't care what he thinks. Grover pulled his feet up onto the branch. Okay, Percy, whatever. Besides, I haven't done anything worth bragging about. We barely got out of New York and we're stuck here with no money and no way west. Grover looked up at the night sky like he was thinking about the problem. How about I take first watch, huh? You get some sleep. I wanted to protest, but he started to play Mozart's soft, sweet Concerto No. 12. After a few minutes, I was asleep. In my dreams, I stood in a dark cavern before a gaping pit. Gray mist creatures churned all around me, whispering rags of smoke that I somehow knew were the spirits of the dead. They tugged at my clothes, trying to pull me back, but I felt compelled to walk forward towards the very edge of the chasm. Looking down made me dizzy. The pit yawned so wide that it was completely black. I knew it must be bottomless, yet I had a feeling that something was trying to rise from the abyss, something huge and evil. The little hero. An amused voice echoed from down in the darkness. Too weak, too young, but perhaps you will do. The voice felt ancient, cold, and heavy. It wrapped me around like sheets of lead. They have misled you, boy, it said. Barter with me. I will give you what you want. A shimmering image hovered above the void. My mother, frozen at the moment she dissolved into a shower of gold. Her face was distorted with pain, as if the Minotaur was still squeezing her neck. Her eyes looked directly at me, pleading, "Go!" I tried to cry out, but my voice wouldn't work. Cold laughter echoed from the chasm. An invisible force pulled me forward. It would drag me into the pit unless I stood firm. Help me rise, boy. The voice became hungrier. Bring me the bolt. Strike a blow against the treacherous gods. The spirits of the dead whispered around me. No, wake! The image of my mother began to fade. The thing in the pit tightened its unseen grip around me. I realized it wasn't interested in pulling me in. It was using me to pull itself out. "Good," it murmured. "Good." "Wake," the dead whispered. "Wake."